What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zcash today, ZEC USD. It is the 11th day of December, and here we are sitting at about $444 with 7 hours and 28 minutes left in the day. And what an odd rendition of price action we're seeing here. This is not typical stuff, you guys. From a high to a low, and I'm telling you, it really is not typical. I can't think of the last time that I've seen something like this. It happens. Statistically, improbable things do happen. But this is not the probability that we were expecting, right? The outcome should have been that if you close above the 382, you move up to the golden ratio. But if we close below the 382 immediately the next day like this, it's basically a bearish engulfing candle. We should, no doubt about it, like with the 80% chance or more degree of certainty, move lower. But the fact that here we are, 7 hours, 30 minutes left in this day, looking like we're going to bullishly engulf yesterday's candle, makes me think that we really are moving up to this golden ratio. Now, that doesn't mean we're absolved of going lower. That doesn't mean that this is the low. But this is a good look. This is literally in the face of danger. You ate it whole. I would imagine from here we're going to the golden ratio, which is all the way at $524 to $560. So, yeah, a little bit of whiplash over the past 48 hours, but I would at this point expect that we do move higher. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom out from there and we'll see if the indicators agree with that, right? Again, me saying in the beginning of a video that I expect the price to move up, after we do the analysis, I might get a different result, right? My initial impression is this is good, this is different, this is statistically improbable. The probability was that we go to the downside. Whenever you do something that's improbable, typically that's because you're going to keep going that direction. So let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom out from there, okay, and see if we can validate that initial thought. $442 now. We'll get something with some volume on it. Yeah, that's good volume. That's fine. That's more than fine. It does seem mechanical. What I mean by mechanical is it just like seems inorganic, almost like manipulated, but well, I'm not going to call it that. It's almost like a BART kind of, right? But it is a bullish reversal. You are getting 1 hour time frames closing above here, but you're not continuing. That is a little bit troublesome, I suppose. The 1 hour RSI is rejecting the overbought zone. You had bearish divergence at the top. Stochastics, MACD. I mean, everything to me looks pretty good. Even with this rejection, you still look pretty good. 4 hour time frame. Okay, here's where some turbulence lies a little bit. We have 3 hours and 26 minutes left in this 4 hour candle. I would say, whoops, 3 hours, 26 minutes left over here. I would say if we make any serious headway to the downside during this 4 hour candle, like if we were to close this candle below 433, maybe then we take on that bearish stance again. We're in such wishy-washy territory here, but we really could be forming some type of an M up here and going down, going lower. Or maybe this was a bull flag and we're breaking out of it to the upside. I don't think this is a bull flag, but still there are some bullish implications here. This 4 hour RSI looks sad. If we close red, we're rejecting the overbought zone. That's not good. The stochastics would reject. MACD likely builds bearish momentum. I think closing this candle red here to any degree would actually be pretty troublesome for the Zcash price and would make me a little bit more bearish. But 3 hours, 25 minutes left, and the 1 hour looks pretty good. If this candle can come up and close green, if we're pushing away from here and building volume as we do it, I would have no choice but to be bullish. So I am default bullish right now, default bullish, but cautiously bullish as well. There's definitely some bearish skepticism in here, right? It's just important to be aware. I wouldn't want to buy here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I wouldn't want to buy. Might be a good time to sell. Prior areas of support, finding resistance. But the thing is, you rejected this area once harshly. The next time, not as harsh. Here, if you don't reject it, if you kind of pitter patter, you probably break through it, right? It's like if you have a line, you find direct support off it, boom. Then you find support off it, and it's less of a boom, and then you kind of peter out. You're probably going to break through it. You know what I mean? And if we break to the upside, the target area in mind is something between 524 and 560. 525, 560, that might be easier to remember. Something up there. It looks good from a fib perspective, from everything. It actually looks pretty good, but there are some implications here in the 4-hour that have me a little worried. Should this candle close red, or should we engulf this candle at all? If we do close candles, a 4-hour candle below $434, if we close any 4-hour candle below there, I would think that the upside at that point is off. We probably are moving down, likely below these lows. That doesn't necessarily mean we have to go below these lows. Understand, we're kind of in this limbo point right now where I'm not completely convinced that this is the low. I think that we have lower to go, but there's nothing in the rules, or nothing that suggests that that can't be the low. This is an adequate low. That is a completely suitable low. It's very possible that that is the low. And we have said that throughout the time, but I have thoroughly given my expectation, which is that we do go lower. I think we're in this overall move that will produce lower prices that take us inevitably below $200, but we'll see. Even if we move up from here to the 525 to 500 and, what was it, 65 area, 525 to 560 area, we still have a chance of going below that low. Right? That could very well just be a lower high in a move overall that takes us lower. You know what I mean? So we are definitely going below this low if we close below $372. If we close below 372 on any 4-hour or daily time frame, I would be very surprised if we close below that level and still somehow turned around. I'd be very surprised. We can wick below there, but if you close below 372, the low will be broken, very likely. If we can close above 525 and find support over here and then continue to move back up, we'd probably flip bullish. We'd probably start calling for the low, this to be the low at this point here, if that was to happen. I doubt that from here we just move straight up through, right? We'd very likely find turbulence at the golden ratio. We find support here, we make our way back to the golden ratio. At that point, that's whenever we'd start saying that's the low, and we'd be default bullish all the way through to new highs at that point. But we got a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of what ifs and questions that need to be answered. The first one is, will this candle close red? Will we close below $434? If the answer is yes to either of those, I think that we have a better chance of going lower. But I am default bullish right now to 525 to 565. That is my default perspective, at least being here. It has to be. Because whenever you close above and then close below like that, you should have gone lower. So the fact that you're not doing that just tells me, all right, this is something different. It's not going with what we would typically see. So I'm going to go with what we would not typically see in this kind of scenario. Since we're not going down, we're going to go up. If we're going to go up, where's the next target area? It's the golden ratio. So I've got nothing else. Again, I want to be very, very clear in case I haven't been throughout this video. I think I have been, but let's just say it real quick. I am not convinced that this is the low. There is, however, a chance that it is. We're not in full-blown bull mode yet, where we're thinking about new highs. But if we perform well over the coming days, over the coming weeks, there's a solid chance that we actually could be targeting $943 to $1,300 and beyond if we behave well. I might be proven wrong after all, and I hope I am. I know there's a lot of Zcash people that want to see the price go up, and I hope I am wrong, because the other outcome would be that you're in the midst of a bear flag and you are likely going to go below $200. And here we are, more than double that. So I'm still maintaining, this is my overall thesis, my overall perspective is that something like this is what's going to happen. And that can still happen even if we go up to the golden ratio, right? So just don't get too bullish, don't get too carried away. There is some hope. There is some optimism, some potential there, but at this moment, my call is that we will move up to 524 to 560. Unless we close a day or any price below, I said 434. I think that's fine, but let's say 424. Unless we close below there again, then we're going to be default bearish. Should we close below 372, there's a very high probability that we go lower than this low. Okay. I've got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.